Hi everyone, this is Rich Berliner from Connected Real Estate Magazine. We're here at the Realcomm Show, and we're here today with Wade Hughes from 5Q Partners and 5Q Cyber. Wade, I'm really interested in this topic because one of the things that's going on in our world is we're talking about two stacks, the proptech stack, and then we're talking about the connectivity stack. Problem is, a lot of folks in the proptech stack don't have any clue as to what they need to do to make sure that this is cyber secure, and they think they can just plug these things into the network and it's going to be, all of a sudden it's going to be perfectly fine and everybody's going to be happy. So in a world of the target hack, how do you folks see the 5G, how do you see the cybersecurity piece of this with 5G cyber, and what are you doing to make sure my network is safe?
Well, the challenge you just described is exactly the reason we launched 5Q Cyber in January. We were getting down to the property tech level, and audit committees of our public clients were forcing the cybersecurity issue to be addressed. So we got down to the building level and found an absolute mess every single time, 100% of the time. And we've done about 30 million square feet already of cyber assessments just this past year alone. And so that's what we're doing is we're fixing it. But once you fix it and walk out the door, if you don't have the monitoring and management in place and the policies and procedures nailed down and educated the team at the property level, then it'll be right back to where it was to begin with. Right. So we have to do the entire thing. We have to assess it, remediate it, and then train and educate the folks at the property level.
So one of our advisory board members, a fellow named Sandy Giaccolo, who is very well known, you know Sandy.
Very well.
So Sandy, we were at a show recently, and a fellow came up with a prop tech company and began talking about it, and Sandy started putting him through his paces on the cybersecurity piece of this. So it's really a hot topic. So I think one of the things that we're doing is trying to educate on this. How are you working that through? You mentioned doing assessments, but how are you working on the educational piece of that? Of course, in Sarbanes-Oxley world and a public company world, these things are really important. How are you doing that and helping to educate?
Yeah, we have an enterprise risk assessment that we do at the highest level of any organization, and that's really the beginning of the education, is to understand where your risks are, and then to go to all those points and educate. Now, one risk that is absolute among every company is the employee base. Every single person can open the door and let the hacker in, and there's nothing you can do about that. So the number one thing we do to educate all employees for every client we have is a product called KnowBe4, where we launch that into the organization, and it creates fake phishing campaigns. And so we see who's susceptible, we see how they respond, and then we make sure those people have online training and education beyond the baseline if they click and give away their credentials.
Gotcha. So talked about 5Q Partners too, and what you're doing on that side of the house. You mentioned you spun 5Q Cyber off. What's the main body of the 5Q Partners doing?
5Q Partners does IT services for commercial real estate companies. This, all we focus on is this market. And so we do end user support and education on their laptop. So if anything breaks, they can't get access to email, they can't get access to Wi-Fi, they'll call us. We're 24/7 in our network operations center. We also maintain the data center. We maintain all the firewalls at the individual properties, and that's how we got in the cyber security world, is we were maintaining all the networks at the property level.
I think that's called near neighbor businesses.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So that's no wonder you know Sandy in that score,
yeah,
but
exactly.
Anyway, that's very informative, and I think what you're doing is terrific because it's absolutely necessary in a prop tech world. So congratulations and thank you for taking the time to talk with us.
Thank you very much, Rich. Yeah, good to meet you.
You too.